Welcome to the show, everybody. It's the Crypto Lark. Super excited to have back on today Marshall Hayner. He is the CEO over at MetalPay. Marshall, welcome back.
Thanks for having me on, Mark, and thanks for having me back.
Now, can you just give a quick elevator pitch? I know a lot of people out there are really excited about Metal anyway, and a lot of people know about it, but for anybody who hasn't heard about Metal yet, what are you guys doing?
So we are a payments platform similar to Venmo or Square Cash, PayPal, except for we reward you to use the platform with cryptocurrency. So that's our mining mechanism, differing from proof of work, which is not necessarily accessible to everyone. We basically have something called proof of process payment, and that empowers the individual to get the mining reward, and that's in the form of process payment. So doing something you already know, doing something between friends. I medal Lark $100. He gets the $100, and he also gets a medal. And that's awesome because it's kind of the intro into cryptocurrency. It's learning to earn. It's playing before I go to trade and I go to make I go to make more advanced trades or start to play with the technology. I get to just dip my toe into the water first before I take a cannonball into the deep end of the pool.
It's a good explanation. I want to break down the proof of processed payments a little bit more. So, what about your measures for anti-fraud and anti-money laundering?
Yeah, so we're working with some of the best-in-class companies in terms of anti-money laundering technology, also anti-fraud. These are obviously huge issues for us. Basically, what's interesting is we're monitoring on both sides. So we're monitoring for fraud on the blockchain, doing blockchain transaction monitoring, but we're also monitoring on the merchant side, on the fiat side. So if we see something suspicious, like a bunch of accounts cashing out the same amount of money every time per day at the same time per day, different things like that that our heuristics will pick up, then we can filter those and flag those accounts for fraud, similar to what PayPal does, something like that. We keep track of where all the payments are going. And the really interesting part and part of our thesis is that the people that are going to follow the rules of the game, and the rules of the game are incentivizing good financial behavior. So that's a big part of the app, and what we're working on is rewarding people for doing the good financial behavior. And that's why our banking partners really like us, because we say, hey, how do we help you grow your bank? We want to incentivize customers to put money into the bank
Hmm.
versus take money out of the bank, which is a very different pitch than most crypto companies that say, screw the banks, disintermediate the banks. Do you want to partner with me?
Let's
Not
give us a bank
quite.
account. That's
Yeah, so we say, what is the tech, what how much do you want to see your customers grow their account month per month? What kind of financial products do you want them to access inside the bank? And the banks love this because they've been looking for opportunities to get involved in cryptocurrency and blockchain, and they're doing all kinds of research and development. But where does it make sense? Where is it applicable now, and how's it going to help them right now? This helps them right now, and it's exciting. And on that note, we have to identify the customers to provide the anchor for proof of process payment. So if we said you can just sign up with an email, well, then I'd be signing up for 1,000 metal accounts and having them pay each other back and forth. But when I enter my real information as Marshall Hayner, it identifies me as a real user in the system. And once your identity is verified, then we can start to say, okay, let's push Marshall towards good financial behavior. So let's have him grow his cash balance.
hmm
If he's going to take all of his metal off the table every time he gets it, his pop score is going to go down. But if he saves it, if he grows his cash balance, if he follows the rules of the game, then your pop score goes up, and your ability to earn more and withdraw more goes up. And so that's really exciting. And on the fraud piece, the people that are raising their pop score, that are making good payments, that are following the rules, these are the kind of users who are good users and are not going to create fraud. Now, the people that when we warn them, hey, it appears that you're trying to game the system, that you're trying to send back and forth, don't do that, or else your pop score will go down. They will naturally create bad pop scores. And that's really great because it goes hand in hand. So when anti-fraud picks up something on our partner side, we can say, oh, that's something where we may want to limit the pop score or freeze the account. And it really gives us a really, really strong understanding of good behavior versus bad user behavior, because it just naturally happens. In the same way that proof of work is powered by greed, proof of process payment is powered by good financial behavior.
And of course, it's incentivized, which really gets people to participate in it.
That's
It's
it.
interesting your approach, your sales pitch to the banks and financial institutions as well. Like, hey, how can we help you make more money and grow your customer base? They go, ooh, we like what you're doing. Now you have 26 million metal, if I'm correct in the number, that you're going to be distributing for the proof of processed payments rewards. What happens when those run out?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So theoretically, when those run out, in my opinion, what I always tell people is we win. Once we distribute 26 million metal across, I would say, millions of users, maybe we can break into the billions, right? That's a Facebook level amount of users, but nothing is more exciting than earning money. I love getting likes, I love getting retweets, and people posting on my wall and so forth. But you know what I like even more? I like getting paid, right? And that's gonna make me open the app if you're gonna pay me. And the where social networking and financial tools meet, that's part of metal and the game that's behind it. So uh, part of the thesis and when I developed proof of process payment was the idea that what's the value of Facebook right now? If I opened up Facebook and I got a good portion of Facebook shares was split across the approaching 2 billion users on Facebook. Oh man, that would be very exciting. That would be very, very exciting, and we could send it over Messenger or something like that, right? How
Hmm.
cool would that be? Now, same concept with Metal, and wouldn't that theoretically grow the value of Facebook? Wouldn't that grow the value? And not to compare a cryptocurrency with a security or with a stock, but let's just look at the value of the network, the amount of users. Now, I think that the value of cryptocurrency is based on the amount of users that come into the system, and then the actual use case and transactional volume. So, if Lark, if you and I start meddling each other back and forth, all of our friends by default are going to start to sign up because they're going to want to play as well. And
Hmm.
when you see metal and you see it compared to these other competitors in the crypto space, which I don't even think that we have any real competitors in the crypto space, in my opinion. But when you look at like PayPal and Square and Venmo and products of PayPal, uh, you see that it looks old. It looks outdated. It's
Yeah.
it's Windows, it's PC, and Metal is Mac, it's Apple, it's the new feel, it's the new vibe. So everybody's going to want to come in as the network grows. I think the value of that network can grow. And that is the thesis: is that when people start to come in, they start to use the network. It's kind of like a wheel spinning. As it spins, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So as if the value of the network grows, then time to distribute will grow. And if time to distribute grows, then this could stretch out much longer. It may never theoretically end. If we look at Bitcoin mining rewards, well, it keeps happening every 4 years, right? But that's worked out because Bitcoin has grown. So what was once 50 Bitcoins at the very beginning, the first blocks that were mined, that value was very little compared to now where we're at now.
Hmm.
And it's not even close to that level of block reward every 10 minutes, right? But what's happened? The network's grown. Now we're hearing about it on TV. Now we're hearing about cryptocurrency, and Bitcoin is still in its infancy. I mean, how many people outside of the crypto space, for everybody watching the show, how many friends do you have that you could send a Bitcoin to right now that would go, okay, cool, thanks for settling the debt, or thanks for sending me some Bitcoin? They would go, I don't want this. Send me a Venmo. Like, this looks scary. It's speculative. You sent me $100. I got 96.50. What happened? I tried to cash it out. Those are fees, right? And so people aren't used to fees. You look at Venmo, you look at TransferWise, you look at Square Cash, you look at some of the apps that are coming out, and it's feeless. Why? Because they're using the banking. Zelle is another good one. You're looking at the banking technology, and they're using that technology to move money seamlessly. The truth is, it doesn't really cost anything. Remember when we used to pay long distance to call from one state to another,
Hmm.
or from one country to another? Now I get on Skype, I make a call. It doesn't cost me anything. My phone provider has even acknowledged that if it's within a couple thousand miles, it's not going to cost you anything, right? And eventually it'll be free internationally as well. And so same thing with money, same thing. And we're really capitalizing on that and saying, let's open the door for cryptocurrency. Now to add a fork into that and to say it goes even further. We've talked to a lot of the top 200 cryptos and asked them about what would you do if you could grow your users. We can actually look on your blockchain and see you're over 1 billion. You're over a $1 billion market cap, but you have less than 100,000 wallets. How is that possible? Are people really transacting, or are they just speculating on your partnerships and news?
Mm-hmm.
The value of the network is more than just news or excitement. It's about actual use case, utility, usability, and that's what we're all about at Metal. I want to share my vision, my experience of jumping headfirst into crypto when it was all alpaca socks and Bitcoin talk, and there
Still
was no
alpaca
value.
socks.
It still has. It really is. It really is. I told my grandfather in 2011 Bitcoin was going to be something big, and I gave him a Bitcoin at a very low value, and and for him to watch it grow, he's a retired stockbroker from Merrill Lynch. He was like, "This is amazing. This is awesome. So excited about it." Now he's trading cryptos, and yeah,
Awesome.
so. It grows, but people have to have they have to have someone to let them in, or they have to have some sort of experience. So what would be more awesome than anything to have everybody have a seat at the table? Everybody can start to mine now. And by mining, I mean just open this really cool app, play the game, have fun, and also play the game in the sense that even if you don't have a lot of money and you're getting down to the end of the month and let's say you're living paycheck to paycheck, it could be great to generate some metal and get some tips on what to do. And maybe you take it off the table. It probably will the first couple times, but then you say, wait, I can get more if I save it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
start to play and start to have that experience. And now you can share my crypto journey, my experience, and our company's experience, our collective experience, which was really great and really awesome. But how many people have had bad experiences where, they get that first Bitcoin, they don't know how to cash it out, they go through like a 12-step process, it feels very painful, and they say never again. That doesn't have to be the case. It can be really awesome, but you have to have the right experience and the right person to show you first, or the right app like Metal.
All very well said. It's definitely a minefield
Thanks.
getting to crypto, and getting your first crypto or even getting involved or understanding what it is for most people too much of a barrier to actually get involved. Even getting a Coinbase account for some people's too much. So definitely anything that can ease that process is without a doubt very cool. Now I want to move on to our next step here, and that is you're going to be able to on-ramp fiat currency into Metal. Is that correct?
That's correct. We will. So we start basically as a fiat payments processor. So that is kind of the focus. And you will be able to on ramp. So you'll be able to send people fiat, whether that's U.S. dollar or euro or British pound or Canadian dollar, Mexican peso. We're going to be supporting all these currencies, rolling out one by one, starting with U.S. dollar, obviously, because we're here in California, in San Francisco, and then we're going to start to add other currencies. But the cool part is I could maybe send to someone on the other side of the world. And if it's in a place that it's not supported, where we don't have our bank partner there yet, they could receive metal. And they can withdraw metal. So it can still go to all those places, right?
Ah.
And as we grow, so instead of the PayPal model of saying, okay, we'll just wait to expand till we have bank partners in every place to expand, we can allow people to say, hey, let's send a payment from USD. Oh, it's not supported. We'll just take some metal, and you can still stay in this P2P economy. It can grow, and that's how I think we grow faster than payments apps before us. We use blockchain technology, but in a way that makes sense.
Interesting. So essentially, if I'm in California and I want to buy something online from a guy in Colorado, let's say, it's going to go dollar to metal to dollar. But if I'm, for example, in California and I want to buy something from, I guess, some dude in New Zealand, for example, to go dollar to metal, and the guy in New Zealand at this point anyway will receive metal.
Yeah, so let me clarify that. So if you were in California and you were sent, let's say I was in Colorado, I was in Denver, and you were in San Francisco, and you sent me a payment, it would just go dollar to dollar, right?
Hmm.
Unless you sent me metal to metal, right? But I could also request metal from you, and then you would pay me with dollars, and I would get metal. Or I could request metal from you, and convert it to dollars. I could go either way. But in a lot of cases, most people will go dollar to dollar first because
Hmm.
that's what we know.
That's what we're
And
known.
you're
Yep.
gonna pop on. That's what we're doing. And then you're gonna pop on that. So I'm gonna do the thing that makes the most sense to me first. I'm gonna go dollar to dollar. I'm gonna say, hey, Lark, you're in San Francisco. I'm in Denver. I need that payment that you owe me. And so you send it to me, and I get it in US dollar. I get $100 and I get one medal, right? I get 4% or 5% back in medal, right? Depending upon my pop score. Now, let's say I'm in New Zealand, right? Or let's say you're in New Zealand because you're in New Zealand, and I'm in San Francisco. Now, let's say we don't have a bank partner. However, we are going to really, really focus on New Zealand. One of our big investors, G2, is from New Zealand, so we love New Zealand and Australia, and I send it to you, and you would get the $100 in metal, right?
Mm.
And then once we add the banking partner in New Zealand, you get a little pop up in the app. Hey, introducing NZD, and now there's New Zealand dollar. And then I could send you US dollar to New Zealand dollar, similar to some competitors like TransferWise, like PayPal. But these things take time, obviously. So that's why we like to use the blockchain to skip ahead as far as we can.
That's really, really cool. I like the whole concept. And of course, the thing as well in that, let's say the San Francisco Denver guys is that, yeah, you send that $100, but then you get $5 in metal, which is amazing, and that's really cool. And then that's that whole point we were talking about earlier. That's the introduction. Like, hey, for the first person who's the first time user, like, I just received $100 and $5 of this metal stuff. What's this? Hold on, it's cryptocurrency. Yeah, this is kind of cool. What can I do with that? Can I spend? I'm gonna go spend that on something, and that is really cool. And that gets the ball rolling, doesn't it?
It's mind blowing, right? For you to get that payment and say, wait, we're used to getting less. We're used to paying fees, and so that's why Venmo was so cool because we didn't have to pay fees. But now if we go the other direction, clearly this is the evolution. That's where we go, oh wow, what is this? I'm gonna pay all my debts, and everybody that owes me something is gonna pay me now on this app.
Really cool. And now, recently, we've seen a lot of moves by banks to block customers from accessing cryptocurrencies, or they've been charging Forex fees, for example, to buy off of Coinbase. What's your take on this? Where does metal fit into this picture as far as what's been going on with credit card companies and all these different things?
I actually have a lot of good insight on this because I've been spending so much time with bankers and different banks and talking about this. The banks are really starting to get it, and it's really exciting. I really like seeing that because people, the cryptocurrency community comes from the cypherpunks movement, comes from a crypto anarchist movement, which I think, it's cool in its own right. I'm a big sci-fi fan. I think, but that's not the way it's going to go. It's not going to go the way of Blockbuster, where the banks just shut down and crypto takes over. No, the physical bank branch may go away. And I may pick up my phone and talk to a teller and say, oh, let me talk to the teller on the phone. Probably through metal, right? Like a video kind of thing. Why would we switch to that? Well, because paper cash is going to go away. And cryptocurrency is incredibly volatile, but you need to play first. You need to have your Dogecoin experience, your early crypto experience, where you show up to Dogecoin subreddit and you say, what's Doge? And everybody says, wow, much fun. Here's some Doge. And you go, oh my God, this is so much fun, right? Versus, I heard Bitcoin's going to the moon and I just bought at $18,000 and it's now at 9. What happened? This sucks. I mortgaged my house, right? But you didn't get to play first. You didn't get to learn first. And so the banks see that, and in my opinion, buying crypto on credit is not good behavior. It's not.
Hmm.
It's not good because in a lot of cases, depending upon the provider, it could come out as a cash advance, and now you're going to get hit with crazy fees. And so, are you speculating that crypto will rise over your 20% APR, or are you hoping that you'll be able to pay off your debt before the end of the month because it's going to rise above that? These all sound like bad things. And why would the bank want to let you get over your head with something extremely volatile? They don't. It's not so bad to collect some late fees and whatever, but ultimately the bank wants you to a lot of the banks would like to see you grow your balance and do well, right?
Hmm.
Because what does that mean for the bank? That means the bank has more money. That means the bank has customers that are saving, and now they can access other products. They want them to not just access the credit product, but the investment products, the loan products, all different kinds of products. And in order to access those, you're going to have good credit. You're going to have a good rapport. They say the bank doesn't want to loan you money until you don't need it, right? And it's very true. And so to see the banks say, okay, we're going to ban crypto purchasing on credit cards, great. That says that they're starting to get it, and they wouldn't want their customers to be financially harmed. And not that cryptocurrency is going to financially harm you, but if you're making bad decisions in the way that you manage it, the way that you purchase it, then yeah, that's not good. And so this is one of the things that our company is trying to do. Our motto is always act in good faith with full transparency and accountability. And we always come back to that on everything we do. Also, our shortened version is just do good. We want to do good. We want people to make good decisions, and we want to incentivize that. We have one of the most economically disenfranchised generations in decades, the millennial generation, that has been screwed over by bad loans, by whether it's for academia or it's for a car loan, and then you looked at the 2008 mortgage crisis. Lots of bad loans and different financial products that weren't really set up the best way or marketed the best way. So this generation doesn't really super trust a lot of the existing financial institutions. And how can we bring it back and make something really positive out of this? It's not the financial institutions necessarily that are bad. We had some bad actors, yes, and now we have this opportunity to say cryptocurrency is one of the most amazing things that we've ever seen technologically, and let's harness this for this generation, for everyone. But this generation more than anyone is going to get it, and is going to say, I like games, I like cool looking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of the house, and maybe mom and dad or maybe no one is giving me good financial advice, but I like this game because when I play this game, even if I don't follow all the rules, I'm still going to get a little bit of crypto. I'm going to learn something really valuable, and that's going to parlay. Even if it's only a small amount of metal, the knowledge is real value that's going to parlay into something even more for me. Maybe a career, maybe a fascination with crypto where I fall down the crypto rabbit hole and I start watching Crypto Lark every day. And that's how it happens, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's all about getting people introduced to this, and more people, of course, are finding out about it every day. I even saw there's a kindergarten in Moscow where it's a crypto kindergarten. They're teaching kids about transactions and the blockchain and stuff like this. So
That's so cool. I wish I went to that kindergarten.
I know, right? I know,
I
definitely
want to
something
I
I'd
want to
send
be
my
born
kids
just
to.
now. Like, yeah, that's really cool.
Okay, now, what has been the general reception of the My Metal wallet been?
So the Metal Vault product has been received very well. People really like it. It's nice because it's an alpha product. We wanted to put it out because we've been working for about a year. As we got closer to the end of the year last year, we said, okay, Metal Pay is going to take a little bit longer to launch than we expected. It's a huge product. The regulatory hurdles, everything. I don't think people realize how hard it is to do this kind of thing, especially in the USA, where regulations are very, very difficult. They're there
Mm-hmm.
for a reason, but I kind of often joke, uh, building a fintech startup in the USA is like opening a restaurant in New York City. If you can open that restaurant in New York City, you can open a restaurant anywhere in the world, pretty much, right? So if you can build a fintech startup in the US and you can get through regulations, you're gonna do a lot better internationally, right? So on the Vault product, it just was received really, really well. It currently allows Ledger, Trezor support, all ERC20, Ethereum, Metal, Bitcoin as well. So I love my crypto. I love my Ethereum, and I think they're great developers that have built an awesome open source project. But I think that it's also really great to have something with a little cleaner user experience and something that's going to tie into something that's more friendly. It's great to have my Ether wallet and have these tools because without them, what else would we use, right?
Yeah.
Parity, there's a few other things I'm not necessarily sure I want to use. But I think that it's great to have it all in one place. So I have a lot of friends and a lot of people that have come on to Vault, and we've watched a lot of the community come on to Vault, and they say it's great to be able to have my Bitcoin and my ERC20 and a lot of my cryptos all in one place. So we're going to expand that into the future and add more blockchains that we like, assets on top of those blockchains, and it's going to tie into Metal Pay as well. So you'll be able to access coins from there. Metal Pay uses something called Nebula, which is off chain. So that's how we can do all the transactions very quickly. We're not going to get, imagine all the fees on the 26,341,112 metal going out in Ethereum, especially as Ethereum grows and probably rises in price. That's going to get very expensive. But we have stayed blockchain agnostic. We built Nebula, which is the off-chain system, and then Metal Vault, which is the totally on-chain, everything's on-chain, and you control the keys, use hardware wallets. It's really kind of the more advanced product for once you've fallen down that crypto rabbit hole, you go from pay and go, oh, there's this thing called Vault. Wow, look at all these cryptos on here. This is cool. I can start to really dig in. It's the more advanced tool. I kind of frequently compare it to your banking login. If I log into my bank on my phone, what can I do? I can see my balance. I can maybe send and receive some small payments. But if I want to send an international wire, access a loan, any other financial product inside the bank, I'm going to open up my laptop. I'm going to log in, and that's the vault.
Cool. What other blockchains? I mean, I know you guys are probably still working in the development of this, but what do you think might be the next supported blockchains in the Metal Vault?
So we like Stellar. I used to work at Stellar, so Stellar is pretty cool. Ripple's similar technology. Keeping an eye on Nano, Neo. Just looking at a lot of different really cool projects. We like Elf. We like the founders from Elf. Obviously, we like Civic. Vinny Lingham is one of our advisors, so we're already supporting that. A lot of the ERC20 already supported Salt. Friends with those guys and the Polymath guys. So a lot of stuff already supported, but the other blockchains, some of the cooler projects, I think Arc is pretty cool. Just looking at a lot of the different things that are potentials for new blockchains that we think are up and coming and with great founders. So we look at the technology. We also look at the founders and the mission and where the company's going and kind of make decisions based upon that.
Okay, great. So at some point in the future, I imagine Metal Vault will be maybe not fully universal, but near universal, or majority of blockchain assets can be stored in the Metal Vault.
Exactly. And on chain, where you can back up your keys and access hardware wallets, where you can do everything. And that's kind of been a problem for a while in this space. There's lots of different apps that specialize in one specific area, whether it's ERC20 or it's like Coinbase, where it's kind of like the bank, the trading piece, or it's the wallet that comes packaged with Trezor. They kind of like all fulfill different areas, but for people coming in, the newer generation of people coming in, they're going to want one brand to trust. They're going to want one system to say, this is it. This is where I go, and it's really cool, and everybody should use it. That's what we're doing, and that's what we're focused on, is just tying it all together in a way that makes a lot of sense. Beyond the crypto V1 and V2 startups, which I think are kind of dominating the space now, and some open source tools and some other cool wallets that are out there that fill their specific niches. When I bring someone into crypto, I don't want them to have like 3 or 4 different wallets. I want them to have one wallet. And if they want to exit and they want to go to a different exchange or a different wallet product because it's highly niche or something that they really like, then that's cool. They have the ability to do that because it's open source, it's blockchain. So we support these different chains. And then on Nebula, we can do the cool stuff with Pop, and we can do lightning fast transactions, and we can get up there with the Visa times and all that stuff. Because there's a lot of discussion about how fast can we go transactions per second, and I think that's really cool on the blockchain side. And we're looking to potentially build out our own blockchain as well. That's something that we're talking about. So expect that in the future. But you heard it here first.
That's pretty exciting, actually. But obviously Ethereum is great, but seeing your own blockchain that would be really cool too.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're working on that, and yeah, we really want to give everyone all the tools, and we want to make it. We want to put it in places that make sense. So you kind of get exposed. It's like I come in, I start my first class at karate, I get a yellow belt. I don't get a black belt on day one. I have to kind of progress, and I have to learn, and I have to level up. And as I do that in terms of knowledge, right, the knowledge that I take in, now I can access more tools. Now I go into Vault and I go, okay, this makes sense. Now I have a Trezor wallet, a Ledger wallet. But if you told me day one, here's your Trezor, here's you're gonna go, whoa, and that's where we're at with crypto right now, right? So we need something a little bit friendlier, and then the stepping stones to get there.
Do you think that in the future you'll be able to invest in an ICO directly from the Metal Vault?
You can right now.
Oh, you can
So
right now. It's already a
yeah,
possibility.
yeah.
Great.
Oh yeah, we've got lots of people who do it all the time. So lots of support tickets where people say, "Oh, I just invested in this new coin and it's not in the vault yet because it's just so new." So we give them the information how to add the custom token or something like that. So a lot of new coins that are popping up on Ethereum. But yeah, you can do whatever you want with it. I mean, we have terms of service, so keep it legal. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So are we still going to see Metal Pay by the end of March?
Yeah, that's the plan. So Q1, we announced Q1, and once we had our original white paper we put out, and it was kind of loose. And as the team formed together, we started to pull back on those dates, and then we said, okay, let's put some hard dates in the sand. Let's draw a line in the sand and say like, okay, October 31st, we're gonna launch ball, and we did it, and we nailed it. And so with pay, same thing. We haven't given the hard date yet because with development, it's always kind of sometimes you get a
Mm-hmm.
little bit further ahead, sometimes you get a little bit further back. But as we get close, and you heard Sid maybe overheard him say earlier, when we're ready to push the button, we'll announce. So same kind of thing. When we're ready to push the deploy button, we will announce and say it's coming tomorrow, or it's in 48 hours. You're gonna see it. But yeah, Q1 is the goal, and I'm confident we'll meet it.
Cool. And now, as far as how that payment process will work with Metal Pay, am I going to have, let's say Lark wants to send Marshall $100. Is it going to be done via QR codes, or am I going to be able to type in, send Marshall $100, or is it going to be cryptographic addresses like we've seen so much with cryptocurrency space already?
Yeah, so on Pay, it's really the idea is kind of the original vision that I started with my first crypto startup, QuickWin, which is let's make it easy. So my first startup was Facebook integration. You click login with Facebook, boom, there's all your Facebook friends. You get $5. It was kind of an early version of Pop. You didn't get money every time you made a payment, but here's $5 out of Marshall's pocket, um, and you can make the payment. So for Pay, it's going to be based on phone number,
Mm-hmm.
social, so pulling in from Facebook, from other networks. We're not going to expose you to public addresses, but you will be able to pull it out and you will be able to paste it in and send it. But we're not focusing on that. And you will have the QR codes, but it's going to be more in line with what you see on Venmo, what you see on Snapchat, Twitter. It's a code, but it's going to pull in a picture of Lark's face, of Marshall's face, and boom, you're going to be right there, and it's going to have your name. And so instead of saying 1CGS3 or it's all letters, but your 0x, it's going to be your name, and it's going to be verified. It's going to be no more oh, I sent to the wrong address. Like, would this mining
My
pool
money's
be
gone
so
forever.
kind as to send it back? Yeah.
Very cool. Now, what about the team? How is the Metal team developing? Is there anyone that you're still looking to hire? Are there any positions missing?
Yeah, it's growing really, really rapidly. We had someone on the finance side just join us from Venmo and PayPal.
Nice.
We're rapidly approaching 20 people. Team is expanding. Like, it's a dream come true to see everything coming together. The bank partners coming in, the team growing. But next month, as we're getting closer to launch, we're going to be moving into our new space downtown SF. So we've quickly outgrown our little Google garage style studio apartment here in San Francisco and moving on up to the big leagues, I guess, or the bigger space. Knock on wood. But yeah, very exciting. Team is growing. More engineers, more biz dev, more compliance and finance, and some really really talented, awesome people coming in from some great companies with just great experience. I mean, it's amazing. I don't think a lot of people really realize or know how big we've grown. People have seen some pictures on Twitter, Instagram of the team, but it's big and it's coming together. So we're gonna launch our new website pretty soon. And I don't know if maybe it's time to announce that yet, but we could get to that piece. But we're gonna be launching our new website soon, and you're gonna see a lot of faces on the website people don't know about. I know some people scouring LinkedIn, finding some of them, but they're out there.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, you are a sponsor for Richard Branson's Necker Cup. How did that event go?
Oh, it was phenomenal. It was really, really great. And so the Necker Cup is really focused on charity. And this year, a big part of it, you've got Virgin Unite, which is the charitable arm of Virgin. And then you have the United Tennis Foundation. You have a lot of charities coming in, and it's about raising money for charitable resources. But what we saw this year is really different because there happened to be a huge storm that came through the BVI, and that Hurricane Irma basically destroyed BVI and the surrounding islands. And so that became the focus of last year's events, and it was really, really, really great to see everybody come together and contribute and to get out there and help rebuild, and so that was the focus, and it was amazing. We had Jamie Foxx, we had Kate Upton, Richard, obviously, some of the world's best tennis players. The number two in tennis was there. It was really amazing. And the last night, I have to say, and I wish maybe there's some video around. I'm sure we'll get something, but the last night was really awesome. So all the sponsors came together and did a big auction, and everybody's auctioning, different stuff. You had Hennessy there. You have the other sponsor, which was Manuka Doctor, which is actually a company from New Zealand that makes really amazing, awesome honey. All these people coming together, and they're offering their services or their products for basically free to raise money for the BVI, for restoration of the BVI. And so at the very end of the events, I got to get on stage, and I told everyone, there is no reason you should not donate tonight, because the Metal Foundation, which is a foundation that was formed inside of Metal after, following after some of the greats, after Richard Branson, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, to say, what is the value of all these things? Why do we do these things? Why do we build companies to make money? Well, ultimately, we want to help improve society, to do great things. And a big part of that is giving back. And so there's no reason you should not donate tonight, because the Metal Foundation has matched dollar for dollar. Every dollar you check out, inside your napkin is a little placard where you can donate, $50, $100, $1,000, right in your own amount. And every dollar you donate will be matched in metal at that time at the price of $5, locked for 1 year. And we raised over $1 million in under 30 minutes. And Richard came up to me and said that was absolutely brilliant. So awesome, and it was really cool. We got to bond over that, and just the feedback that I got from everyone after the event was, we did something really awesome at that event. And that's what I want to hear. What we're doing with the Metal Foundation is really to make a change for the environment, for education, and this is one of those opportunities. We couldn't say no. We really, really want to be involved, and it just went phenomenally. And we made so many friends and cool partners, and working together now with Premier Live and Destination Luxury, some really cool partners that are onto some big things and doing great work in charity. It was phenomenal. It wasn't there. Some of the stuff was documented through Premier Premier Live and Destination Luxury. But we're hoping to put together like a little post kind of to share this piece. We unfortunately didn't have marketing lead at the event, so we're still hiring, and so that didn't get really kind of the get out there. So I'm really glad you asked this question so we could share it today in this video, because I don't think a lot of people know the story. It was just amazing, to say that and say, okay, who wants to donate? Everybody in the room. I'll take some. I'll get some metal. And I said, and also, should you come back next year and metal is higher than the price that it was last year, if that is the case, I strongly urge you to come back and donate some of those profits again. And I think that was really cool. Really resonated with a lot of people. And people came up to me afterwards and said, I have to take a stronger look at cryptocurrency. This is just amazing what you guys are doing here. And I don't see it. I don't see a lot of other cryptos doing that, really kind of focusing. I know Pink Coin, there's one coin that kind of focuses on charity. That's really cool. I'd urge other cryptocurrencies to think about the good that they can do and the other things they can do outside of this blockchain bubble. I hate to call it that, but we do live in a little bit of a blockchain bubble because, but we're growing, but there is a big opportunity here. And I am seeing a lot of other cryptos starting to come together and rally behind this. And we're working with some other cryptos on this as well to kind of pool resources and do some really great stuff for charity.
Really cool. Maybe there's even just off the top of my head kind of idea. You could even have some kind of future implementation where, hey, do you want to, donate 10% of your metal payback to charities or something like that? So,
That's
you know,
coming. Yep.
oh, there you go.
You'll
You
see
already,
that in the app.
of course, you're already thinking about it. Awesome. And of course, you've also got some other sponsorships coming up. I see there's a squash event and yacht golf. Is that really a thing? People play golf off their yachts? That's crazy.
Yeah. That's another charity event, and you can imagine a lot of titans of industry, a lot of people who are doing very well in business coming together. Who doesn't want to play golf on a yacht, right? But
That's true.
we can also make this about charity, right? And there's a lot of money coming into that event, and it's for a good cause. United Tennis Foundation and the foundations around Premier Live. So we did get a little bit of flack, say, oh, you can go party on a yacht. Why are you? Not building the app. No, we're building the app, and we're gonna go and we're gonna be there for like 2 days, and then we're out and we're back. It's pretty funny actually. Recently, we got a robot inside the office, so we're gonna start to tell a robot to more conferences, so we can show up more robotically. I'm all about the future here at Metal, so we want to have our presence. But the yacht challenge is gonna be really great. The squash tournament, really great. Some really great people behind these events. Premier Live, Destination Luxury, really like these guys, and are starting to work together with them more closely. And so, to build that awareness, I think this is really great.
And that's huge. And I don't, anyone who says, oh, you guys aren't in the office 24/7, yeah, but out there making those partnerships, making those connections, going to these kind of events is, I don't think people realize how big that is, when going to Necker Island and all those highly influential people now know the name Metal. And when you go to the
That's it.
yacht golf thing, as crazy as yacht golf sounds, those people are all now going to know the name Metal as well. And so that is really important. It gets that awareness and it gets big players who have the influence to make these things happen actually out there paying attention. And that is really cool.
That's
Now,
it. Yeah.
as far as I guess your partners, can you elaborate a bit more on who exactly you're partnered with? I know that there's some banks involved. Can you kind of tell us about those partnerships too?
Yeah, so I unfortunately I can't say any names. We're not gonna announce. Sort of, I guess you kind of equate this to sort of like exchanges in crypto.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't say which exchange you're going on until they announce it. They announce first, that kind of thing. But I'll tell you this: for our bank partners, for our financial partners, by law in the U.S., we have to put it inside the app. So you'll see it plastered there, the bank name. You'll see our partners' names. It's all in the terms of service. We're partnered with the Tier 2 bank, a really awesome bank, some really cool technology companies. And we're talking to some other banks, other large banks around the US that are really, really excited, and also abroad, internationally. Talking to some banks in New Zealand, talking to some banks in Korea, London, and UK, and Europe. There are some really awesome partners coming in, but we do have a bank partner locked down for US, and that's pretty rare for a lot of crypto startups to
Yeah.
say that they have that. Just to for a lot of crypto startups, just to even get an operating bank account, just to put your money in to pay rent, to do payroll, that's hard. But you want to do transactional stuff, and you say you're a crypto company, that's really hard. So we've done some really heavy lifting and a lot of legwork to get to where we are. We can't say who they are until we launch, but when we do launch, expect a big press release, and you'll see it inside the app. It'll be clear as day, labeled, because we have to by law say who our banking partner is. So you'll see
That is
all of that.
awesome. That
Nice.
is awesome. And I guess just a final question here to sort of, wrap up as a more general idea. What do you see happening with cryptocurrencies this year? What do you think the big trends are going to be? Where do you think the space is moving?
Yeah, I think the space is moving into. We're going to see a lot of amazing products, brands coming out. We're starting to get into the age of usability. So I think here's my big prediction. I expect a Starbucks coin. I expect a Rakuten coin. I expect major, Fortune 500 companies appearing in the top 50, top 100 all of a sudden. I expect more use cases and more apps like Metal, like Blocktix, like Civic, like Salt, like Zero X, things that are going to be used, and we're going to start to see them being used in production. They're going to have an emperor wears no, I call it the emperor wears no clothes moment, where people are going to realize, whoa, there are seriously awesome big players coming to the space. And a lot of this stuff that I thought a year ago or 2 years ago was really cool is actually crap and is going nowhere. Sorry, I hate to say it. I know it's an unpopular thing, and maybe I'm gonna get some hate for it, but it's true. And there's gonna be emperor wears no clothes moment. A bunch of cryptos are going to fall by the wayside, and the real players are going to start to emerge. We're gonna see a lot of big brands. We're gonna see, and I'm talking to a lot of we're talking to a lot of these companies right now. It's part of our business development. I actually mentioned earlier, you mentioned what happens when the 26 million runs out. Well, is metal the only coin that's going to pop? I don't know. Are there going to be other brands that are going to have coins or rewards that are going to pop over our app? Yes, there will be. That's a big part of our business model. And so you're going to see that. You're going to see that. And that is going to increase time to distribute. So metal won't be the only coin that you'll earn over pop.
Wow. Hold on a second. I gotta go over to Binance and buy some more real quick. Hold on. That's awesome. There's so many exciting things going on, and it's always just super enlightening to get to speak with people like you, Marshall, because
Thank
there's
you.
so much that you just can't know when you look at a website or when you read through the white paper or you check the Reddit or whatever. There's so much information locked up in your head about the amazing things, the amazing developments that are coming up for a project, and it's Metal's doing awesome things, and it's really exciting. Now, today you guys are launching a website with a demo version of how this is all going to be working. So I'm going to provide a link down below if anyone wants to go ahead and check that out and check it out. It's really awesome. So make sure you guys get over there and check that out, of course. So, Marshall, any final thoughts for you for today?
Uh, Not much. I'll just leave on this note. We have to learn to earn. So before we can really go out there and spread our wings, we have to learn first. And that's where we're going to start with metal. And I'm just so excited to be on this journey with everyone here watching the show, all the metal community. Thank you to the metal community and to everybody that's supported us, Premier Live, Destination Luxury, our other, sister projects, Salt, Civic, BlockTix, Zero X, a bunch of really, really cool coins that are out there. Just thank you to all of you guys, and I will see you on the launch day.
Awesome. Marshall, thank you for your time and thanks for sitting down for the interview today.